Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Rez-Ace. Ace, you know what it do. Um, Today I got something a little bit different for y'all. We're going to be opening up some Duskmourn, Magic the Gathering. We're actually about to stream as well, so there's going to be a little bit of fun streaming going on past this. For those of y'all that are in stream, say what's up. We'll be having a good old time playing some other games tonight, so you'll be along for the ride. But I decided to go ahead and go out to my local pre-release, pick up some stuff, and then come on home. Just because I got some stuff I need to take care of. Couldn't actually stay for a pre-release, but I went ahead and bought a couple things that I wanted to show off. So we got a box of Duskmourn collector boosters right there. And on top of that, we also got the Vagavoth Rakdos colored deck. So we got Vagavoth here. If I can show them off. Gonna have to wait a second for the stream to catch up here, but I want to make sure it's showing off. Check one, check two. So show off Vagavoth there if I can. That's it. So we have the whole deck here. We're gonna go over the whole deck. Hopefully the camera decides that it's going to actually, stay focused in. But thought I would show a couple things off here. So we got Vagavoth, the Horror of Souls. I can make sure that he focuses in. He's flying, ward, pay 2 life. And whenever an opponent loses life for the first time during each turn, put a 1/1 counter on Vagavoth, Horror of Souls, and draw a card. And that's really cool. That means every turn you could start pumping your guy up, making him really big, right? And then the separate commander there is going to be the Lord of Pain. Your opponents can't gain life. Whenever a player casts their first spell each turn, choose target player. Lord of Pain deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to the chosen player. I want to see if there's anything not as common per se. You get your Arcane Signet, your Soul Ring, your Lightning Greaves, your Command Tower, sort of normal things. That's cool art for Blood Artists. That's kind of cool. They give you a Gary, which always a good card right there. But what else do they give you here? See, the whole idea of this deck is about making your opponents lose life, getting some value off of it, and I just thought I would show y'all real quick that I picked it up. Show anything else? They got a new artwork for Mogis, God of Slaughter here. Very nice, very nice. Mogis was one of the first, I think it was a modern deck at the time that I played. It was Modern Minotaurs, which wasn't even anything meta. It was just, happened to be within the modern. Massacre Girl's in here. That's actually a really good card. Lower things just a little bit. Or raise the camera up a tiny bit. Let's try and raise the camera up a bit. See where that sits. Yeah, that probably sits a little bit better. Just kind of going through a couple of cards here. Let's see if it will. Enters Bane. Florian, he was from Midnight Hunt, I believe. Rakdos, Lord of Rides. I was just thinking about how he would be great for this deck because I have another version of him from Ravnica Remastered. He would be great for this deck, and he's already in here, so that's awesome. That's what we like to see. Vial Smasher's in here. That's different. I wouldn't think that a Vial Smasher would be in this deck, but that's pretty cool. Then we got all our lands. It looks like this might just be all the lands here. It's nothing crazy. Didn't want to spend too long on this, but with the deck itself, it comes with a little mini collector's booster. It's 2 cards. From it, I got Cursed Recording here. If camera will focus well on it. Come on, you got this. Come on. Come on. There you go. Curse recording. Whenever you cast a spell, or cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a time counter on it. When there's 7 or more time counters, remove those counters and it deals 20 damage to you. So that could be kind of rough if you're playing, standard or even modern. But in Commander, that might not be as rough on you, right? Also, life is a resource in Commander, and that's mainly what I play, so that's great. And then we got a foil Growing Dread. So nothing too crazy. I think the cursed recording in the TV showcase right there, probably the better of the 2 cards there. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this pack opened up. So we're gonna open right there. We're gonna get some packs a-flowing. Ooh, these could look kind of mashed in there. I don't know if you'll see that, but that's how that pack came. Let's hope that everything's all good there, but I think we'll set that back up right there. First recording, we'll set up right against it. That off to the side. Start with the right side over here. Okay. First pack. Let's get into it. I'm feeling good about the set. I think it probably has some of the cards that I would probably be like cooler with having, just because they look so nice. The double exposure cards look really good in foil, but not much else. So I don't know if I'm gonna really go over the commons and stuff. I'm sure everyone else is going through a lot of them. My main look is for everything past these land cards here. So into the rare slots. That's probably where I'm going to be actually looking for some good stuff. And I can always go back if people want to see some of the commons, but that's already really nice. A really nice fucking swamp. I will take that because I like to play these full art basic lands. This land cycle is actually really, really nice too. I'm kind of happy that they went with something like this because it was about time that we needed a good land cycle. So that's probably another nice hit there. Probably not anything worth a lot, but something that I'm relatively cool with having. Glitch Interpreter. When Glitch Interpreter enters, if you control no face-up permanents, Glitch Interpreter, return them to the owner's hand and manifest dread. Whenever one or more colorless creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Okay. Interesting. Marina Ventrell's Grimoire in the new little showcase there. When it enters, you may draw 5 cards. You have no maximum hand size, and you don't lose the game for having 0 life or less life. Whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. Whenever you lose life, discard that many cards. If you have no cards in hand, you lose the game. Okay. That could be something. The Mind Skinner, and that's what the, what is it called? The double exposure, I believe. That's what these cards are. I think that's probably a good card. And, ooh, we got ourselves a foil Lord of the Hauntwoods. Now, that's probably, him in a different version is probably the hit card of the actual set. So, it's him and Vagavoth. So that's probably a decent card that I want to put into one of these. We can get it. There we go. Very nice. Okay, let's get that next pack going. Get that token out of here real quick. As I said, we probably won't go through all the commons here. Nothing too crazy that I was looking for from there, but the set has a really nice theme to it, and it's I didn't like Bloomburrow as much because its theme didn't intrigue me nearly as much as like some of these other sets do. But this horror theme, something I'm actually really looking forward to. And these lands, because Vagavoth is like the mansion itself, really cool. Enduring Innocence. I know the enduring cards are like actually worth something. They're actually all pretty nice. I don't know what. I think it's the black one, enduring. I'd have to see it, but I think that one's the chase one out of these. And of course, you want those in the Japanese other version there. Deluge of Doom. All creatures get -6/-6 until end of turn, where X is the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. That can only hit for so many. There's like 8 or 9 card types. So the maximum you could probably have is a -9/-9. And like nowadays, who's really playing Planeswalkers? So, ooh, we got ourselves another Lord card there. Lord of the Belmerk. Not sure if he's a hit card, but the impending idea is really cool to me. Whenever Lord of the Belmerk enters or attacks, mill 4 cards, then you may return a non-avatar creature card or a planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. I'd say that's pretty good. Enduring Vitality. Now I know that one is definitely a good card. So creatures controlled have tap, add 1 mana of any color. When Enduring Vitality dies, if it was a creature returned to the battlefield under its owner's control, it's an enchantment. I like that a lot. An Entity Tracker. Flash Eerie. When an enchantment you control enters the battlefield, whenever you fully unlock a room, draw a card. And whenever you fully unlock a room. It's actually kind of nice. And really nice artwork there. I like that. The foiling is kind of cool too. It's on the glasses and the little camera there. Probably a good card for this set in particular. Oh, 3rd pack, boys. Let's get it. If I can. There we go. Get rid of that treasure token. Kind of speed through. Fear of Lost Teeth, Piranha Fly. Ooh, what are you? City's Fungus. The TB. We got ourselves a mountain. I can already see some borderless cards back there, so I'm not trying to spoil myself. Just because this is my first box of actually opening, so. Cursed Recording. We got ourselves another Cursed Recording. Very nice. Barb Flare Gremlin. First Strike Haste. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, if Barb Flare Gremlin is tapped, that player adds 1 mana of any type that land produced. Then that land deals 1 damage to that player. Interesting. Another Cursed Recording in the little showcase version, but it's not foil. I think that's 2 of them that we have that is not foil. There we go. Doomsday Excruciator, I believe is how you pronounce that. That was a card that I was actually chasing down, and this is the version 2, the borderless version. Whenever Doomsday Excruciator enters the battlefield, if it was cast, each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card. So you're technically drawing 2 cards, but you want to have effects when you use this card that would cause your opponents to also draw. And Dissection Tools. Whenever it enters Manifest Dread, attach it to that creature. So the manifested dread creature. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 in Death Touch and Lifelink. Equipped, sacrifice a creature. So to equip it, you have to sacrifice rather than paying like mana cost. Pack 4. Right into it. That was a shitty break right there, but as always, skip ahead. Let's get these out of the way. Pretty Plains. Right into a Overlord of the Hauntwoods. What is going on, dude? We got 2 of them? Sure. Oh, man. That is a pretty good card to hit 2 of, so I'm not too mad about that. Shriekwood Devourer. Trample, whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, untap up to X lands where X is the greatest power among those creatures. I might be able to use that in Selvala. That would actually be really cool. Winter in the double exposure. Or is that double exposure? I think that's what that is. Beginning of your upkeep, each player draws 2 cards. Delirium, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Each opponent's maximum hand size is equal to 7 minus the number of those card types. So 7 minus 4 off the bat. So already a maximum hand size of 3. So you could theoretically get it so that your opponents don't have a maximum hand size. This is a commander. I think this is, I don't know if it's this version of Winter or not, but this would be a commander that is all about hating cards in hands. Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber. We got our first actual room card here. Unholy Annex. At the beginning of your instep, draw a card. If you control a demon, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Otherwise, you lose 2 life. Ritual Chamber. Whenever you unlock this door, create a 6/6 black demon creature token with flying. Interesting. And I think this is a different version of the card, like the showcase, maybe? Really cool looking. And our first Leyline of Mutation. It can enter the game if you have it in your opening hand, and you may pay Wooburg rather than paying the mana cost of spells you cast. See, I like that card because I'm currently in the process of building a Dragon deck, which is all 5 colors, and I have ways of cheating things in if they cost 5 to pay instead of their normal cost. So for me, this card is a huge hit, and I'm loving that. But I think while we have a second here, I'm going to go ahead and sleeve up some of these cards here. I have regular sleeves, but I don't have penny sleeves to put some of these things in. So the big hits that we like, they are going to go into these top loaders here. So I have an abundance of these top loaders. Doomsday. Now, we are hoping to hit a Vagavoth. Vagavoth would be a nice hit. Also, I believe it's Into the Pit would be another nice hit because I have a couple black decks that would be nice for. And there's one more. It's Funeral Room and something like that. Funeral something in Awakening Room or Awakening Room. Something like that. Somewhere along those lines. But let me make sure these are all set up nicely so that you guys can see them. And last pack on that right side, and we'll go ahead and jump right into it. Let me make sure these are all... Oh, I'd already opened the other one before. Whoops. Cool. Not last pack just yet. We got ourselves another swamp. We are going into Toby, Beast Befriender. Whenever Toby enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 white beast creature token. This creature can't attack alone, or attack or block alone. As long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control have flying. It's a great card for it. And we got ourselves an Aminatou. That's going to be a great pull. I was really curious about getting an Aminatou. So this one's more of like a... Personally, I wanted to get this card. I just didn't want to shell out for 2 of the decks and a commander or a collector booster. So that's a nice one for me. I'm going to go ahead and put that up here. Got ourselves Waltz of Rage in the, what is this, TV showcase. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. Until end of turn, when a creature you control dies, exile the top card of your library. You may play it until the end of your turn. That could be good in like a Rakdos color deck, or even wherever Winter is. The Jund, I believe, is the color combination, black, green, red. That, I believe, is another hit right there. This is the TV version of the Roller Coaster or Roller Crusher ride. Delirium, if a source you control would deal combat damage to a permanent or player while there are 4 or more card types in your graveyard, it deals double that damage instead. When it enters, deal X damage to up to each of X targets, and that's where you would pay X into it up there. So this is actually a great hit. And we're gonna pull another Overlord of the Haunts, this time in that nice little Japanese showcase version. I forget what the actual name of it is, but that's really, really cool to see because this is one of the top hit cards of the set right there. I'm super stoked about that, but it is also our 3rd Overlord of the Hauntwoods. That is crazy. That's probably the best hit that we've hit so far. So let me make a little pile here. These are going to be ones that I personally think are cool. That's the rest of our rares. Our top hit right there. And we are going to go ahead and get the roller crusher ride in. If I can get it, I think that's as best as I can get it down. There we go, and we're going to go ahead into that last pack. Now that Overlord is a card and a half for us to pull, I'm stoked about that. Let me go ahead and just pull out all of those commons and uncommons that we're not really taking a look too far into. If we want, we can go into them a little bit afterwards, but I'm really just want to jump into it because this is a set that I'm stoked for, man. Island into unidentified hover ship, so a UFO. It's a vehicle. It's got crew 1 and flying. When it enters, exile up to 1 target creature with toughness 5 or less. When it leaves, the exiled card will the exiled card's owner manifest dread. So the exiled card will still stay in exile then. Okay, cool. Sadistic Shell Game. Starting with the next opponent in turn order. Each opponent chooses a creature you don't control. Destroy the chosen creature. That is a really cool, like, targeted removal onto other people's cards. Like, if there's something clearly a threat on everyone's board as a creature, that's a really cool way to get rid of it. Reluctant Role Model. He's got Survivor at the beginning of your second main phase. If he is tapped, put Flying, Lifelink, or a 1/1 counter on it. So you can give him Flying or Lifelink counters so that he would be able to have it so long as the counter stays on him. And then if he or another creature dies, if it had a counter on it, put those counters onto up to 1 target creature, which could be really cool for like those decks that care a lot about putting counters on stuff. What is this? Oh, this is the Dollmaker's Shop / Porcelain Gallery. I think that's actually a good card too. When 1 or more non-token creatures you control attack a player, create a 1/1 white toy artifact creature token. Creatures you control have base and power and toughness equal to the number of creatures you control. That is actually really crazy. And the last card there is going to be a Bellatrustrid. I don't know how to pronounce that first word. It's a worm. So this spell can't be countered. Trample, Haste, Delirium, and you got to pay something into it. Return it to the battle, or return the worm. We're just gonna call it the worm. From your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Activate this ability only if there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. Activate only as a sorcery. So this one right here, which I think this is the alternate art version of it as well. If we can, come on, you can do it. Hello, camera. Focus. There we go. I think that's the alternate art version of this card as well, and it looks beautiful. But that would be really good for token decks, and I'm actually thinking about building a Teysa Karlov token deck, so this would be perfect for that exact reason. Whoa, a little bit more. Come on. We're almost there. There you go. We're pulling some really crazy mythics, but we're on over to the left side of the box, so we're getting well into this right now. And I'm having a great time. We're pulling some decent cards. Get rid of that token real quick. That's cool that it has Toby on top of him too. Scan all the way to the back. Dude, that's such good artwork. There we go. Look at that. That's really cool. Not dead, just gone. It will come back. Note scrawled on a paper or a scrap of paper. Unwanted remake. That's cool. This set has so much cool flavor to it, and I love it. And there's another Overlord right there. Overlord of the Boiler Vigils? Vigils? I don't know how to pronounce that. But whenever it enters or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. That's actually really nice. Fear of Sleep Paralysis. Flying Eerie. Whenever it or another enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. Stun counters can't be removed from permanents your opponent's control. Oh, so you just tap down that... Stasis, hello? Stasis on a creature? And we got ourselves a double exposure Vagavoth. That's what I want to see, man. This pack is already paying off. I love that. Hold on, can it clear up any? Come on, man. Show us the money there. Come on. Come on. Dude, it is not wanting to clear up at all. There we go. Vagavoth Traitor Eater. Or Terror Eater, my bad. Flying Lifelink Ward, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. So if you want to target it, you have to sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. If a card you didn't control would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with Vagavoth. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its mana value rather than paying its mana cost. So it's like, it kind of has the same effect as Bolas's Citadel, but in a different way. That's so cool, dude. Leyline of the Void. Leyline used to be so much, and now they keep printing different copies of it. Now, I don't know how much it'd be, but it's one of those personal hits that I would be like, that's cool. I'm going to also put Fear of Sleep Paralysis over there. And then there it is. That's another card that we wanted to hit right there. That was one of my personal chase cards. Funeral Room and Awakening Hall. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So it kind of has the same effect of like a Blood Artist on the front half of it. So when it first comes in, it'll probably be a Funeral Room. And then when you unlock the second half, it'd be Awakening Hall. When you unlock this door, return all creature cards from your graveyard to your battlefield, or to the battlefield. So that is crazy good for a deck like Marin, which is the one that I'd be using it in. And that's a hit in its own right. Not just personally, but I think it is a good card, and it's a foil one at that. So probably a good card to put in here, along with Vagavoth. We can get Vagavoth into one of these. These top loaders haven't been my friends. Come on, get the rest of the way down there. You're almost there. There we go. So right now, top hits so far are the Japanese artwork of the Overlord of the Hauntwood and Vagavoth Terror Eater. I'm gonna put those over here. Those are our top hits right there. They want to stay. I don't know if they'll stay. Sorry. Forgot that I had a land sitting back there from when we first were putting cards up that way. But put those right there. Top hits. And I forgot to put the Boil one, the Red Overlord. So far we've hit quite a few of the Overlords. Got ourselves 3 of the Hauntwoods, Belmerk, and Oiler. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Hold on. There it is. Like, why did I put Awakening Hall in the back? Pretty sure that's a good hit. On to the next pack. This has been a crazy box, dude. I'm actually really stoked for this. I picked it up from a local card shop that I just started kind of going to, too. So this feels nice. This card shop hasn't let me down yet. I've been very pleased with them, and I'm pretty sure we're about to get more pleased with them as we go into the rest of this pack. So, Enduring Curiosity. Let's see if we can get this on camera real quick as we get into another Enduring Cycle creature. Enchantment. There we go. Flash, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. When it dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. So, Let me get this right. When a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So you could have multiple. Oh, you could draw a shit ton of cards off of that. That's actually really nice. Lord of Pain. We had one of those from the actual deck itself, so I didn't need one of these, but that's actually really cool to see that you can pull even more of the commander deck cards from there. Zamone, All Questioning. I don't know if she's the Simic deck for the set, or if that is... It's a different version of her, but this is the double exposure version. I think the double exposure cards look a lot better in foil because you can actually see that, like, her and the other design when you like twist them back and forth a little bit better, but these just, it's just an extra blurb on top of the design. Got ourselves a land, Thornspire Verge. It is the tap for a red, add a green only if you control a mountain or a forest. And that's what we're talking about, another double exposure right there. But this is what I'm talking about. You can kind of see the fly a little bit better. It doesn't appear well on screen, but you can see the fly and you can see the monster behind the fly a little bit better. It is a, what is that color combination? Golgari. It is a Golgari Scarecrow. When it enters the battlefield, you may create 2 black-green insect creature tokens with flying. Delirium, as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and have Death Touch. That's kind of a cool card to have. It's like, especially if you're building like a insect / spider deck, because there's that previous spider commander that I think is also Golgari, as well as like Gris just had a creature / planeswalker version of him in Modern Horizons 2, so pretty good card for that. Get into this next pack real quick. We're gonna skip to that fancy land. Got us another Schwamp. See if we can want to go straight into it. So this is just that worm that we got before in the TV version. I just still don't know how to pronounce that first name, so we're not even gonna try. Ursine Monstrosity. Trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, mill a card and choose an opponent at random. It attacks that player this combat if able. Until end of turn, it gains indestructible and +1/+1 for each card among card types in your graveyard. Cool. 3/3 for 3 and trample. Entity Tracker again. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Don't need to read that. And we got ourselves an Enduring Curiosity in what is that? Extended version. And that's another card that I was hoping to hit right there. Nico, Light of Hope. Nico, Light of Hope says whenever he enters the battlefield, you create 2 shard tokens. They're enchantments with 2. Sacrifice this enchantment, scry 1, then draw a card. And then you can pay 2 and tap, exile target non-legendary creature you control. Cards you control become a copy of that until the beginning of the next end step. Return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control until the beginning of at the beginning of the next end step. So target you control. So it specifies that you control, but it also says to its owner's control when it comes back. So you could steal a card, exile it to get 2 of them, and then it'd come back under your opponent's control if they own that card. But the reason I was looking at it is the colors, the Azorius blue-white colors there, very good for the idea of like blinking. And so I was just thinking like this would be a great blink deck. Like you could blink him to create a bunch of shard tokens and then activate his effect and turn all those shard tokens into a copy of a certain creature. And you'd want that creature to have some effect where like a Sun Titan, where when it attacks you bring back this, and but you get 1,000,000 Sun Titans to trigger, or something like that. Sun Titan's an example. It's probably not the best example, but I think that's so cool. And you guys can't see it, but the foiling on this is made so that that purple version of Nico that's screaming in the background kind of stands out when you like hold it one way, and when you're not holding it that way, the yellow version of Nico is on his own. But like that's what I'm talking about when I say the double exposure cards, they just look so much better in foil because it just stands out a little bit more. But we're gonna get that Nico sleeved up real quick. Boom. Take a second here, check on chat, make sure no one's trying to talk to us and we're not seeing. Looks like we're all good, so we're gonna go ahead and get into that next pack real fast. Rid of that token. I can already see there's something crazy towards the back. Something cool. Got ourselves a forest. Enduring Courage. I think this is probably the one that is like the least popular from what I've been seeing of the Enduring cycle. Although most of the time the red card of the cycle is that. Whenever a creature you control enters, or whenever another creature you control enters, it gains +2/+2 and gains haste until end of turn. So that's a good haste enabler for creatures that just entered the battlefield. And whenever it dies, bring it back to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment. Ooh. Giggling Spitter Spike. Indestructible. Whenever it attacks, blocks, or becomes a target of a spell, it deals damage equal to its power to an opponent in the Monstrosity 5. Where Monstrosity 5 says I think it gets +5/+5 whenever you activate it. So it'd become a 6/6. That's actually pretty good. I wouldn't. It's not great, but it's cool. It's cool to say the least. Ghostly Dancers. Whenever it enters, return an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand and unlock a door of a room card you control. Eerie, when an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, create a 3/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And for the next card, we got ourselves a Kaido. That's what we're talking about. I was actually thinking about this card for my friend who's currently building a Yuriko deck, and how he's looking into ninjas to put into the deck. This Kaido would be perfect for it because that +1 gives a emblem. That is crazy for a +1 of a planeswalker to give an emblem, and not only that, but he benefits from it. Because so long as your turn and Kaido has one or more loyalty counters on him, he becomes a 3/4 ninja creature token and has hexproof. That's crazy to me. It's like you're essentially saying every turn I'm gonna +1 you and make you that much stronger, and then start swinging with you. So Kaido is a hit, and the fact that it is a extended, or not extended, a borderless. Is it borderless or is it extended? I think it's extended. That's actually really nice too. And a Blazemire Verge. This one I think is the hit out of the land. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in a top loader as well. It is the black red one. Not sure why it's the hit, but I've been seeing a lot of people like value this card pretty highly. So we are also going to value this card pretty highly. We're also going to put a Kaido in there. We've hit practically everything I've wanted except for Into the Pit, I think. Into the Pit is probably the only card that I'm still looking for. But I'm going to knock over every card trying to get this done. I think top hit still is the Hauntwood. Going into the next pack, let's see what we can get here. I'm just throwing these on the ground right now, but I'll pick them up all later. We don't want to see what's there in the back just yet. We want that to be a surprise, and I think that's our first island. It's like a little fountain in the middle of like a courtyard. That's kind of cool. I hate that like, you can't see it too well because of the foil. There we go. It focused it perfectly. Very nice. I've heard people call this Fire and Ice, Roaring Furnace, and Steaming Sauna. Whenever you unlock this door, this room deals damage equal to the number of cards in your hand to a target creature and opponent controls. You have no maximum hand size at the beginning of your end-step draw card. Oh. Nothing too crazy. Redress Fate. This is an Amanatu card, and it looks like it came from the commander deck, so that's perfect for her. Turn all artifacts and enchantments you control to the battlefield. from your graveyard to the battlefield. Let me say that again. Return all artifacts and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has Miracle, so if you were to draw this card, you could play it for 4 instead of 8. That's crazy. That's actually a really nice card, especially if you're ever looking to make that Amanatu deck. Head Shredder. Whenever it attacks, mill 2. You may mill 2. Whenever one or more lands are put into the graveyard from your library, put them onto the battlefield tapped. That might be good for like landfall decks that can play from the graveyard. I think there was actually a deck either in Thunder Junction or in this set that plays off of that. And we got the double exposure Marvin. Hell yeah, dude. That was another card that I was looking to hit personally. He looks crazy, man. Marvin has all activated abilities of creatures you control and don't have the same name as this creature. And then Unstoppable Slasher. I don't think I've seen this one. Zombie Assassin, Death Touch. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, they lose. Oh, is this that card? I think I saw a combo with him. Oh man, he might actually be very valuable. It was half their life rounded up, and then whenever it dies, if it had no counters on it, return to the battlefield under its owner's control with 2 stun counters on it. That's crazy. I want to put both of these in top loaders. Come on. This card goes into so many combos where you could just one-shot people. I think it's Asterion. I think Asterion says... Yes, it's Asterion that combo's with. In fact, I think I have an Asterion over here that I can grab real fast. I do. We're going to put Marvin in the back here because he's not like the best hit, but I'm also still wanting this to be in the front so I can talk about it. So he says that whenever he deals combat damage to a player, they lose half their life total rounded up. So Asterion says at the beginning of your end step, choose one, and the feed is what we're going to be looking at there. So for feed, see how far. Come on. Target opponent loses life equal to the amount of life they lost this turn. So no matter what, because it rounds up rather than round down on them losing the lives with the Unstoppable Slasher over here, Asterion just kills them. That's insane. That's awesome that we pulled that. And I think that was another card that I was chasing down whenever I was first looking at the set. But we are on the last pack Magic right here. And we have pulled some pretty crazy stuff. We pulled a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff that I was looking for. So I'm very pleased. The last thing that I'm looking for is Into the Pit. If we don't get that, oh well. I will get an Into the Pit myself later on. It's not going to be that much to grab. Let's get into it. Let's see what this last pack of Magic has for us. Starting off with that mountain. Let's make sure that this zooms in or out. Come on. Come on. There you go. Mountain. Reluctant Role Model. I feel like we already read you. Yes, you're the one that moves counters around. That's creepy. Look at that creature right there. Into the Pit. Let's go. That's the last card that we were looking for. Looks like it's in a commander deck too, so it's probably in a commander deck that I didn't realize. I might even have it inside the Vagabond deck that I bought. But that is exactly what we're looking for right there. Leyline of Transformation. Creatures you control are creatures. So when it enters, you choose a creature type. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to the other types. Same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So every creature is going to be the creature type that you name when this enters. And it enters for free if you have it in your opening hand. Dissection Tools again. Last card. What do we have back here? Enduring Innocence. Enduring Innocence. I think we already pulled one of these. I don't think I read it out though. I think I kind of flew by it, but that is a great box. Let's go ahead and read what Enduring Innocence does. Lifelink. Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 2 or less enters, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. I think he's like second from the bottom, only behind the Enduring Curiosity or Courage. Enduring Courage. But man, oh man. We're going to put Into the Pit into what actually happens to be my last top loader there. I probably missed some things that are actually relatively hits that we picked up, but I hit every chase card that I was looking for, and I am extremely happy. Let's take a look real quick. Move the camera here, focus it up, turn that light so it's not completely on Vagavoth there. Look at that. So, to go back over, we have Overlord of the Haunt, which is probably our top hit. Japanese art, I believe is what it's called. Let's take a look at the back of the box, just to see what it says. It's going to be the Japan Showcase card. So that is the Japan Showcase version of Overlord of the Hauntwood. Then we have ourselves a Vagavoth in the double exposure, which very happy about getting a Vagavoth. Come on, if you will. Come on. You know it's not right. Come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, no. Vagavoth. There we are. Vagavoth, followed by Into the Pit. Oop. Unstoppable Slasher. Great hit there. Kaido. Bane of Nightmares. Blazemeyer Verge. If it will focus up. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know that it knows and it's trying its hardest. There we go. Blazemeyer. Nico, Light of Hope. And it did it again. Come on. There we go. Funeral Room and Awakening Hall. Yeah, come on. There we go. Dollmaker's Shop and Porcelain Gallery. Roller Crusher Ride. Definitely a nice hit there. Another damage dealer that I think in the Vagavoth deck would actually be really good as well. Since you want your opponents to lose a bunch of life and you're going to be stealing life from them. Overlord of the Belmerk. I don't think we actually read this. So whenever it enters or attacks, mill 4 cards, then you may return a non-avatar creature card or planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's like a return the card, but you're also filling your grave. It'd be good for graveyard decks. So that's kind of its use. Doomsday. It's been a second since I looked at its name. Excruciator, I believe that. Yeah, Doomsday Excruciator. Whenever it enters the battlefield, and if it was cast, each player exiles the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. At the beginning of your turn or your upkeep, draw a card. That is crazy hate, man. Crazy card hate. Another Overlord of the Hauntwoods foil, just a normal version. Leyline of Mutation. Another Overlord of the Hauntwoods in foil and extended. Overlord of the Boyle Briggs. Bilgs. I don't know how to pronounce that. Also, I believe in foil. A Marvin, Murderous Mimic. And that's it for our main hits. But man, what a great box. I am very happy with that. I wasn't expecting to hit anything amazing, but I think that Overlord absolutely set us up there. So, thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and we will probably be streaming something else soon. So if you are in the stream, do stay tuned. We'll probably jump into a different game here in a second.